Good morning. Good morning. What's up? Had a question that has been coming up a lot for my clients, and I wanted to share it with you because this is a question, one of like my deep questions that got me into like wanting to get help and wanting to get coached and wanting to what was I doing wrong in my relationships, right? So I'm just gonna open this up, have a little trying new setup here. So if you fall, don't fall. Okay, stay here. So I'm gonna wait to see if someone jumps on right now. If not, I'll just start because it's gonna also be for those who are listening to it as a recording. Beautiful snow day today. Yeah, no one's jumping on. But you know what? We don't wait for people, right? We wait for ourselves and for what we need to put out there. And this is what I'm doing. So, okay. So why isn't self-love enough? Self-love is not enough because it fails. Because we're human. Because I'm human. So at some point, self-love is not going to be able to get me through that dark night. When I am suffering, when I feel a certain way, I am human. So no matter how much I value myself or see or want to have that love for myself, there's going to come a time when that person that I had this deep connection with goes away. Or there's going to be that time where that person disappoints me or does something that hurts me inside because I'm human. There's no self-love, in my opinion, that is going to hold you to not get hurt and to not feel good about yourself. So that's why self-love is not enough to get you through relationships sometimes, because relationships, man, they're like the number one, like, I was gonna say heart attack. The relationships are the number one way to like get to know yourself. Like besides like having like, you know, like a lobotomy or something and seeing inside your brain, but relationships in general are the best way to see your soul, to trigger your hurts inside, your character defects, to see where there's, to meet new parts of you that you didn't know were there. You know, and this comes on the side of greatness where you may feel like, oh, I never knew that I was very adventurous. Or it could be in a side that, damn, I never knew I was so jealous. So, and each side has its own level of positivity, because jealousy can, you know, have a spectrum of goodness to it and negativity to it. And the same thing as being adventurous can also have its, you know, spectrum of being healthy and unhealthy for you. Right? So my point is that relationships are the number one factor in your life if you want to be successful, especially at relationships, right? You have to be good at relationships, but you have to have healthy relationships so that if you can be like the most successful person, have all this money, be educated and all these things, but if relationships are hurting in your life, it's going to hurt the rest of your life altogether, because we are not just segmented people, we are as a whole. So coming back, because I love going on tangents, is self-love to get to that place of happiness with your relationship and within yourself is not enough. So what is enough? And let me just say one more thing about self-love and why is not self-love enough. When you're not feeling good, what do you usually do? Like, wouldn't you say that most things that have come out great sometimes from this world or from our lives has been from a place of maybe anger, of not loving ourselves? Maybe like sometimes things have come out in a good way because we felt that way, because there was a lack of something, therefore we created something, right? And sometimes that was even better than where we were. Unfortunately, sometimes though, when we're feeling that pain, we go the other way. And sometimes people take their lives and they kill themselves because the pain is so much that they can't, that it's unbearable. And I've obviously, I'm still here, so I've never, you know, followed through with things that I've thought, but I've thought of that too. I've been in such pain sometimes that I thought like maybe not being in this world would be better than continuing here. And that's a fucking scary thing to go through, but it's true and it's real. And I cannot say, oh, just love yourself more. Love yourself more. You'll get through it, you know. I know you want to kill yourself, but just love yourself more. I know you're an addict. You know what? But just love yourself more. I know you get cheated on by everyone, but just love yourself more. And it drives me nuts, because that's dangerous. It's dangerous to tell someone you just need to love yourself. At least for me it is. And maybe there's more more of you out there that feel that way. That what I'm doing all the work here, why am I still feeling this way? I'm going to tell you this thing. We're human. So life is always going to be on life's terms. What I can do to make it different for myself is gather what works for me. And what has worked for me and what has been a game changer for me and what was a revelation for me was this whole thing about self-love. I had a coach once that she would just say that to me a long time ago, but I didn't understand yet. This was years ago, so I didn't comprehend it yet. But she'd say to me, you have to just love yourself more. And I would say, okay, how do I do that? By doing it, by just being it. You have to be it. You can't do it. And I said, okay, but how do I be that if I've never been that? I didn't understand. Like, if you're going to teach me how to do it, like tell me to do my shoelaces, you just can't say, just do it. Just be it. I can't. You have to, for someone like me, I needed to be shown the steps. I needed to be shown the steps that worked for me. So for me, what were the answers for me? Number one, what came first in my life was emotional intelligence, was learning about not just how to respond to people, because emotional intelligence is being aware of your feelings and being aware of the situation of that other person, of how they're feeling and responding and such, where it's like a mutual, a mutual, amazing, productive, or at least honest experience that you have, to decrease drama and to be honest within yourself of your feelings and to be aware of the other person's feelings. But the other part of emotional intelligence is, how did I even get to this situation to begin with? How did I get to this place of not just the fact that when you do something and I'm going to respond in a better way, or I'm going to respond with a more honest way, but how did I get here again? So that's where emotional intelligence goes even a little deeper, about knowing your belief systems, understanding how did I get to this place and what is my responsibility in it. Not saying that all are, I don't want to get on a tangent, but there are so many sometimes that happen that we didn't ask for, So I'm not trying to say that it was my fault, but how did I get here and how can I make it different? So that's what I'm trying to say about that. Number two, and if you want to learn more about emotional intelligence, if this sounds like something you want to do in your life, where you become more aware and more intentional about your feelings and about your thoughts, DM me, PM me. I would love to get into it with you more, okay? The second thing, game changer for me, higher power, God. Not even just God, but for me, being a Christian or becoming a Christian all over again, because I used to be, and I stepped back for a while, and it just wasn't. I had my own journey. Maybe I went like this, I went in circles, and I ended up back in the same place, but I didn't end up in the same place because this feels different to me now, this time. But it's always been about a higher power. That part never changed. Now, whether I want to call it a religion or whatever it is, but it's a higher calling, because remember I told you at the beginning that there's going to be days where self-love will not get me through it, because there's going to be days where I feel like a nobody, like a nothing, like I don't have value, like I don't have, and I'm going to want to grab onto my relationship and grab onto that guy, or grab onto my husband and grab onto my boyfriend and grab onto anyone and take them hostage and have them do for me what I cannot do for myself. There's only one person who can do for me what I cannot do for myself, and that is my higher power. That is for me, and for you, it could be the thing that, if you want to get straight to it, if you want me to go straight to it, it's God, right? If God does not feel good to you, that's okay too. Don't let go of it. It could be the God of your understanding. You make up your God then. You make up the God that you can conceptualize in your brain. What made up the oceans? What made up the mountains? What made up you? What made up, is it other things? What is it? But there has to be a higher power that isn't you, right? Because I am where the self-lovelessness is. So I cannot fix myself of myself. Albert Einstein said you cannot fix, I don't know, he said it directly. I wasn't with him. It would have been cool to be his girl. I'd be like, yo, what's up? Talk to me. Anyway, I'm sure he said something like, or someone said something like, you cannot fix a problem at the level of where the problem was created. So some part of him knew already there had to be something greater than where we were. So where I am in that moment, in that dark night of the soul, when I'm feeling confused and insecure and it's just like, what's going on? There has to be something else I can turn to. And at those moments, emotional intelligence sometimes does not get me, because yes, I can go out and maybe think differently and do something differently, but there has to be something greater than that. And that's why for me, it has to be the higher power. The higher power is what will help me go for that run, shift my body, be like, blah, 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 blah. Try something different. So I get out of my head, start journaling, go to sleep, take a nap. So my higher power is the one that gives me that energy at that moment, or to then go to the next right thing, the next best thing for myself. So I need that to be, what's up, my love? What's up? Oh man, Melanie, talking about higher power status over here, baby. Talking about God status. Actually, I just finished the video. I just said everything that I wanted to say for this video about how self-love, just loving yourself, sometimes for me is not enough. It doesn't get me through. If that were the case, then even the step work that we do, that I do in my recovery program, it would stop at step 8. At 9, it would stop there. It wouldn't go to 12, because I wouldn't have to find that prayer and meditation anymore. It could just be like, I fixed myself and my character defects and all is forgiven. No, there's more to it, because in those dark nights, something greater has to hold you through. When you think you can't get through it, there has to be something more, and there is something more. But you have to put yourself out there and create this relationship with that higher power. So that's what I did. And that's what the people around me also do. So since they're doing it, sometimes it's easier for me to do it. Like Melanie's one of my girls that she believes in God so much, and like she has such faith in him. And also my friend Maria, like that's contagious. It's contagious, the love and the faith that you can have with someone in something that is contagious to other people. And so it's an attractive quality that then I realized, like, wait, what's over there? I want some of that. So, and so that's what this is about. So if you see something here in me and what I'm sharing, and that is there something you want your relationships to be more blessed, to be better, to be more happy, to be more honest, because honesty, people can love you to death if they don't know who the hell you are. You make up a facade, you make up a mask, they will love you to death, right? But what about when you're really real? What about when you're not as funny as you think you are? Or what if you're not as sexy as you think you are? What if you're just you? Will they still love you then? And then that's why you want, I think for me, be in relationships with people who get to know the real you, not who you perceive to be, or who you think you need to be. So that's what I have for you today. I am setting up some sessions for you to get with me one-on-one and talk about your journey, because my journey is different from your journey, and we can get this together. See, you got those thumbs up from my sister. All right, I love you guys. I am off to Humankind now and get together. I did all my stuff for this morning. I love you guys. Hope to serve you. Like this, comment, share it, tell a friend about it, tell a friend who's in pain about it. They don't have to feel this way anymore. They don't have to feel this way. All right?